Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Phantasmagorium Show Reviews. I'm your host, Steve Foley. I'm joined today by Catherine and Scotty. Today we are going to review, I know we're a week late, but we're going to review Jordan Peele's Nope. I had the pleasure of seeing that this morning, and I know that Cat's seen it. I don't think Scotty's seen it, but he's along for the ride anyways, which is always fun. I'll tell you just my quick thoughts right off the bat. I didn't love this movie. Did not love this movie. In fact, I'm not even sure that I really like this movie. I might need to watch it again, but definitely not Jordan Peele's strongest movie. I still think Get Out is his magnum opus, but I do put this above Us. I really didn't like Us at all. But this movie, I thought the first two acts were strong, but man, for me, it fell apart in the third act. It was just, it kind of, there's a lot of cool concepts in this movie that just don't kind of wrap up in the end. It just seems like he's got a couple of really good concepts he's trying to get to. And in the end, it just kind of fell flat for me. Anyways, Kat, what did you think about the movie?
It was okay. B monster movie, basically. I'm reading up on it still. Yeah, it was okay.
Just that's the way I felt. Like it's okay. It was all right. I have a problem with the monster, the alien or alien craft. So it starts out in the first act, and first and second act is basically it's a shiny disc, right? Mm-hmm. So you think it's a ship, a craft. Well, we learn about halfway through the movie that it's not really a craft. It's more, it doesn't move like a craft, right? And the Genya Kaluuya, his character actually, I think he says that more than once. It doesn't move like a craft. And then he kind of figures out that it's some kind of entity, some kind of predatorial monster, alien monster. But so then it kind of morphs after that. After he kind of says that in the movie, the craft kind of morphs into this like sand dollar looking thing. So it looks more like a sand dollar now than it does than a shiny metal craft. And then by the end, it's this big, flowy, paper mache, weird kind of.
Well, it's resembling an angel.
Yeah,
that's what because the movie opens with that biblical quote that.
Right.
Let me read the quote here. It's I will cast abominable filth upon you, make you vile, and make you a spectacle. Nahum chapter 3, verse 6. And the creature in the end, when it's all opened up, looks like what the biblical description of an angel actually is supposed to look like.
Yeah. Very. So, like I said, there's concepts in there, right? I didn't really get the angel thing. I mean, I guess you could. It did. On reflection, it does kind of look like an angel, but it's. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about this movie. I certainly didn't hate the movie. There's some really good parts. There's some good tension building scenes. So it's really good scenes, But on the whole, I felt like it could have been a tighter movie. It felt long. I hate that when you're sitting in the theater and you're kind of like, all right, I'm ready for this to end.
Yeah,
that's not a good sign. So they probably could have shaved off, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes if they tightened it up. And I probably need to see it one more time to really dig into that. But yeah, I was very underwhelmed, and it sucked because I was hyped, man. I love movie day, right? When you're going to the movies. I got up and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to the movies this morning. I get in there and I get my pretzel bites and my drink, and then, situated. I'm watching Perry Nemerov on Nuvi give her a little spiel, and I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm all excited. And then it just kind of, it's one of those movies that just kind of runs, which is fine. I don't mind slow burn movies. I actually sometimes really enjoy them, but this one was, I don't know, it's just kind of off. It just felt off, kind of most of it. For at least that's how it landed for me.
Well, I didn't care much for Daniel Kaluuya's character. He's kind of muted and just doesn't say barely two words throughout the whole movie. It's kind of a very boring character.
Yeah.
Keke Palmer is just obnoxious in the first half, which is deliberate because you're kind of seeing how the brother's just getting super annoyed by her self-centeredness and spunkiness and all that. But the third act is very underwhelming. It's like a typical, like a monster chase at that point. And I didn't get why the Michael Wincott character, the DP, makes a decision that he makes at like, dude, you already got the magic shot. You don't need to push it any further. There's no reason for you to
go into the belly of the beast.
Yeah,
come on, dude. You know what? I'll tell you what. Seeing him on screen again was awesome.
Oh yeah,
I love that dude. And I haven't personally. Maybe it's just the movies I've chosen to watch that. Or I don't know if he's actually done a lot of work lately. But I like when that guy's on screen. He's got that grizzled old timer voice in this. His character I really liked.
Yeah. So
Keke Palmer, everybody's talking how good Keke Palmer was in this. I didn't think she was all that great in this. She's very annoying in the beginning, and I understand that that's on purpose. But even in the end, she felt like she was overacting to me.
And I didn't care enough about that character for her to be the one who becomes more or less the protagonist or the final girl, if you will, for a horror movie standard. It's like, I'm not really getting this. And it's like, your DP already got the magic hour shot. Now you're racing to get another one. Okay.
That whole thing made no sense to me either. That whole getting that shot. I mean,
yeah, because and then you have the whole subplot with Stephen Yeun's character. And it's like, yeah, I get the parallels there, metaphorically, but
yeah,
it's kind of a subplot that doesn't really get to go anywhere because he exits the movie a bit too soon. And
right,
the idea that he figures that because he tamed the wild chimp that was killing everybody on set, that I can tame this monster. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, if the idea from these characters is that all they need to do is document this creature on film, well, he's been running this little Wild West show with that as his finale for a while, like 6 months now.
Right?
So wouldn't there be, photos and a gajillion accounts of what's been going on here every week because he runs the show every Friday?
There should be, right?
There should be.
Even though he said, no cell phones, no photography. Come on.
Well, even if there isn't, there's
that all the time, but people do it anyways.
Those people would have told others about it. Like, you got to come out here and see this. And it's like, for some reason, that's not happening, and yet it's like, oh, this one photograph will do it. I mean, certain things I liked. I liked the Angel character from Fries. I thought that was really funny that he mentions not only Fries, but that his sister went to work for a show at the CW. I'm like, two things don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I thought was the source of good humor throughout the film. I liked that first act, second part, all of them, and when they're first trying to figure out what's going on, and like when the Daniel Kaluuya goes inside the barn and he sees the kids dressed up.
Right, the kids.
That's really funny.
Dude, so it's really creepy.
It is.
And then you're like, is this what it is? And then it turns out to be the kids fucking with them.
Right. And I love the shots.
So there's some really cool, like I said, there's some really cool tense parts of this. And there's some really funny parts where it's laugh out loud funny. In fact, my theater wasn't packed. It was the very first showing on a Sunday, but there were several people there, and at least 3 or 4 times during the film, laugh out loud from the entire theater. So, or the people that were there, anyways. So it had some really good tension. A couple of little jumpy not jump scares, but a little jumpy stuff here and there, and there were some really funny parts. All the makings were there. It just didn't tie up. Like, I really liked the whole that whole Stephen Yeun kind of thread with the chimp. I thought there was something there, but that never really materialized in the third act either, the way I think it should have. It didn't mature and land like it should have. At least that's On the first watch, that's where I came out on it.
Yeah, I thought in that way that the first act and the second act are probably the best of the movie, and the shots even of the UFOs moving through the clouds is really neat.
Yeah.
And just kind of, I was like waiting to see where this character was going. I'm like, what is Daniel Kaluuya's hang up here? It's like, it's like, what was the screenwriter's purpose for swapping the Keith David character? Let's have him die at the beginning, have Kiki Palmer be the one who comes back to the farm. And I'm like, I think this would have been better if it was like a father-son story, because even when the siblings, they're constantly kind of going at it, and it's not until like the climax where they seem to finally get in touch with each other or whatever. And I was even wondering at the end if he was actually dead or not, because when she sees him, he's standing on the other side of the sign that says, "Oh, out yonder."
Right.
So I thought it was ambiguous.
And he's kind of it's not a very clear shot. He's kind of there's
right.
He's there, but you don't know if he's really there or not.
Right. And so it's like I'm watching this, and it's like, okay, I could see the Steven Yeun character thinking he could train this monster or whatever. I get the idea that angels are in the clouds, so here's an angel that's literally in the clouds and biblically accurate. And this, because if people read the Bible, the angels are not like nice little singing heart. They're literally like demons, like what most people play
warriors,
demons in terms of they're like. And so that was neat, and the concept of the alien being a Dyson probe was quite interesting, because it's like a biomechanical creature that could assume whatever shape it wants. And I love that shot when you go up inside. The few shots where you get to go inside, it was like really cool.
It was cool looking.
Right, but and they tried to play around with the thing that the Haywoods are descended from the guy from the first ever moving pictures, the black guy riding the horse, and it's like, okay, but that doesn't really go anywhere, and people have said, oh, maybe it's about them being forgotten or something like that. I'm like, well, maybe. It's like the horse was kind of acting up, which is why they replaced it with the CG horse at the stage in the beginning. But it just kind of, it's like it's basically a B monster movie that picked the wrong character to center the story around for the third act, and abandoned what, like you mentioned, was the much more interesting subplot with the Steven Yeun character at the Western Ranch or whatnot. But the cinematography, I think, as a plus, was really great throughout. I think it was a really pretty movie to look at.
It was pretty, yes. Yeah, I agree with that. The cinematography was great. The shots were actually really well composed. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think it was, like I said, the story is actually there. It just didn't come together in the third act. And I know how hard it is to figure out a third act and not be
for sure.
It's hard, but
yeah. And the fact that the brother and the sister barely have any bonding time in the movie meant it, because it was clearly being told from Daniel Kaluuya's perspective for like the first 2/3 of it, and having her kind of be the one to take over, it's like, this doesn't feel very earned. It
didn't, and because you could tell that OJ and M were estranged.
Yeah, totally estranged.
And she was estranged, I think, from both of them, the father and the son.
Yeah,
I think she kind of departed, went her own way. And then, you never. I mean, there's a couple of scenes where they're kind of, I'm glad you're here.
Begrudgingly putting up with her in the first half of the movie.
Yeah, but never the emotional wallop that you kind of needed to say, okay, she's back and she's gonna help and be the.
I did like, though, how they break the movie down into chapters surrounding each of the horses and what happens to them. Yeah. I thought that was kind of funny, and at the one time kind of cruel that they're running these experiments with the horse.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, let's see if you're going to eat this one today or what, or whatnot.
That's what I'm saying. There's cool parts of this movie. It just as a whole, it just didn't work for me. Like I said,
my favorite from him is still Us, because I thought that movie was really scary, and it's like, I get what he's doing with that one, the second-class citizens, and he's doing it as theatrically as he can with the secret underworld and all that, and the whole holding hands across America at the beginning. Even though that one, it's a movie where you can't really try and think of the logic behind it, because then it'll start falling apart.
It does, yeah.
The thing about Get Out that I wasn't crazy about is, usually in those movies you are shouting at the protagonist to get out, but that's because they're not aware of what's going on, whereas Daniel Kaluuya's character in that film was well aware of what was going on from very early on. And it's like, dude, you could tell this has been going on for a while and your girlfriend's fine. Just leave. It's like, and there's nothing holding you up from leaving. And he did, and it just, I thought it was a real slow burn, but and part of the payoff of that movie didn't work for me. It's like, okay, if the matriarch of the patriarch of this family came up with this idea, why would, of all the people whose bodies they can inhabit, why would they want to be coming back as the help?
Right.
As the groundskeeper? Like, that made no sense to me at all. It's that was kind of weird, even though I get the social commentary with it or whatnot. But Us, I thought was as scary. So this one was kind of fun B monster movie, but like you said, it's got a bunch of fun stuff and just misses the mark. Doesn't come
And
together.
so it sounds like we're kind of the same, only with different movies. I think you put Us at the top, and I put Get Out at the top, and then I think we both put Nope in the middle, and then the other one on the bottom. That makes sense. Yeah, for me, Get Out really landed.
I think, Get Out for me is second. Nope is the bottom for me.
Nope is the bottom for you?
Yeah, because Get Out, even though it is kind of slow, some it doesn't make sense. I think that still has a better movie and holds together better throughout all the 3 acts as opposed to this movie.
So we do differ because I put Us.
I ranked them Us, Get Out, and Nope. But this one it's like there were neat ideas and concepts they could have explored, but they just didn't really do it. And it's like, okay, I mean,
yeah, and it's weird because it looks like it's going to be a movie kind of jam packed with things, and it's not. It's very kind of stretched out in a way. Like I said, I think you could take a scalpel to this movie and make it really tight. I don't know if that would have made a better movie, though.
Jordan Peele was talking about how the movie's about spectacle and the things people will do to document spectacle. And I'm thinking, even people who aren't in the habit of trying to document every moment of their lives on film would probably be interested in getting this on film because of what it is. So I don't know if that really applies as much, other than the one moment where the DP decides he's got to go into the belly of the beast. But that's like one brief little moment. It's not.
I don't understand. And I didn't understand that.
Yeah, that just comes out of nowhere because he was smart enough to stay up on the hill. He set up his camp, put up the camouflage and all of that, and it's like.
And he got the money shot.
Yeah, he got the money shot, and I thought it was clever how they're using all of the inflatable arm filling guys to gauge because the ship like causes electrical outages, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, smart.
It was smart, but it just. And now if it hovers right over you, it's almost like a tornado, just ripping everything to shreds. Because the first time watching it flying away, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then when it gets close, it feels like really intense. It's like, oh, shit. And like, you don't want to be there. But it's...
Good concepts. Just that it didn't tie up in the... As much as I like the concepts in the movie, just the third act just kind of it was just... Yeah. Like you said, B monster. It's a total B monster movie ending. And I'm just like,
Yeah, the idea, I guess,
B monster movie.
You can't tame nature. It's like
it felt lazy, actually, and I know it's not. I know he's not a lazy writer. Obviously, it's just it felt that way, and I hate using that term because it seems like film Twitter always uses that. Oh, lazy writing. People that don't even know writing in the first place, but this felt lazy, and I know it's not lazy because he's not a lazy writer. It just. I was disappointed.
Yeah, because I remember the first trailer that dropped had no clue what the movie was about, and I liked that. I'm like, wow, this is really intriguing.
Yeah.
And the second trailer spelled it out a little bit more because it shows you some of the money shots. But even watching this, like I figured that there was going to be also a payoff with the fact that their business was struggling, and we're the Haywoods, we're descended from this guy, and I couldn't tell if she was being serious or not, or just saying that to prey on the ignorance of people who probably don't know their film history. But even that doesn't really go anywhere. And it's like, okay. And I was surprised the DP even called them up and decided to, I saw that there was an incident here, so I guess I'm going to believe you that there's aliens. Or I'm like, okay, that was a little off. But it just...
I think one of the coolest parts of the movie for me is when they figure out, and it's the Fry's tech support Geek Squad guy, who figures out that the cloud has not moved. There's a certain cloud in the area of their ranch that's sitting up just over the ridge, and it's just hasn't moved. All the other clouds around it move, but it's stationary. I thought that was one of the coolest parts of the movie. I'm like, oh, that's excuse me, that's really good the way they.
I also thought the movie had a good hook when it's like you realize that the Keith David character died of like nickels falling from the sky in the middle of nowhere out on this ranch. It's like, what the hell is going on, And to see that it's the monster, like, regurgitating every man-made item that it doesn't want to eat. Like, that was kind of clever.
It was cool.
And it was really cool. But Yeah, I mean, we could talk ourselves around in circles. We're just going to keep saying the same thing over and
Great
over.
great concepts. Not not great execution in my opinion, my humble opinion. Scotty, are you interested in this movie? And after our little review here, are you less interested or more interested?
In answer to your first question, and this is the entire reason that I decided to join you on this panel, am I interested in seeing this movie? My answer, nope.
Nope.
I liked Get Out.
Good answer.
I thought it was good. I didn't see Us many for a lot of the reasons that you said, that it just didn't land with you personally, and there wasn't really much of a draw. I enjoyed the cast of Get Out a lot, and I didn't really see much sparkle in terms of the cast for Us. And then with this one, with Nope, my biggest excitement is Michael Wincott. Because as you said, he hasn't been in a lot. I just checked his IMDb, and I think the last time he was actually in anything was a television series in 2017.
Wow.
So it has been a while since Michael Wincott's done anything. That is interesting to me, but that's not enough for me to go and seek it out. And especially with sort of the lukewarm review that you guys are giving it. I'll check it out eventually, maybe if I catch it on Netflix or if it's on some streaming, but it's nothing that I run out for. I like Jordan Peele. The only thing I really didn't care for that I have seen of his was the Twilight Zone remake. I saw a couple of episodes of that.
I like those.
I sort of tapped out of that after a bunch of episodes, but I look forward to when Jordan Peele makes stuff, but I'm not necessarily first in line when he makes it.
So I will say this, regardless of whether we disliked, or were lukewarm on the movie, that's 3 in a row for Jordan Peele. That's 3 movies he's written, directed, and put out that made money. That makes him kind of iconic in Hollywood. It makes him a tourist filmmaker, which should he should probably be getting calls and offers from all the big studios to do some tentpole IP here in the future. Hopefully he does. He picks wisely and or decides to keep doing his own thing. I think it's smart, and I think we need more people like Jordan Peele.
I think there was also a lot of built-in curiosity given his background as to what his movies were going to be like.
Yeah.
That attracted a lot of people to go and seek them out. Because I don't think Us had a very good reception, but that still made money. And then Nope is making pretty good money. It had a $63 million budget, and it's already made like $80 million in the United States.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and Get Out did win for Best Original Screenplay, didn't it?
I believe so.
It might have, yeah, and it got Best Picture nomination.
Yeah.
Best Actor nomination.
And in fact, I think Us got a nomination or 2 as well.
Oh, really? Well, and I do know during the press for this movie that someone asked him a question, or actually just paid him a compliment and said that he was probably one of the best horror directors living. And he said, I appreciate the compliment, but I won't have anybody disrespect John Carpenter that way.
Right.
So he definitely still has reverence for the genre. And Kat, you're absolutely correct. Coming from a background of comedy, I was surprised by how deftly he handled the tension in Get Out. And
he does the same thing here, Scotty. It's palpable. It's good. He's good at it. He's,
Yeah, he did that in Us as well. It's just like the tension and suspense is just there. It's just, will it come together? And not this time. At least not for me.
They're just not the greatest movie. His last 2 movies weren't the greatest in my opinion. But look, I think when we're talking about Jordan Peele, we're talking about a success story, which is great. And that's like I said, we need more of that.
Well, and this is sort of a weird question, but remember how Key and Peele made the Cat movie, Keanu?
Yes.
Did Jordan Peele direct that as well?
I don't think so.
Huh? That's odd to me.
I can find out right now.
I could.
So. He might have, but I don't think he did.
Let's see.
But insert right. No, he didn't direct it. Peter directed that.
That is interesting. Just based on what
figured
came
this
after.
would kind of be a shorter review for us because just that, we didn't think the movie lit the world on fire.
Mhm.
But we do have some people in the chat, so we want to run through those real quick, and then we can call it a day. Todd Michael, you kids in your Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, sorry.
Hello, Edge of Time. Chill with Cat. That should be the new name of the review show. When you just do the one-off reviews, it's Chill with Cat.
Chill with Cat.
Yep.
Chilling with Cat. Todd Michael says, Angel. Big ass kite. That's what it looked like, a big ass flowy kite.
At one point when it's billowing, it almost looks like it has the same face as the kids who are wearing the mask.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that at the Western thing, he's got even the stuffed animals of that. And I'm like, maybe he designed it based on the ship.
Yeah. So I didn't really understand where they're going with the cube that came out of the middle and the green. I was like,
yeah, that was kind of a awkward. Like,
what are
oh,
you
this interesting prism, and it's like I don't really get it.
Yeah.
Big Ass Kite is also a great band name, says
It
Todd
is.
Michael. Absolutely. Hello to Edge of Time. Greetings from Edge of Time to Todd
I know
Michael.
our friend Todd Michael didn't like this movie that much either.
Sci-Fi Nation. Greetings,
Hey,
everyone.
Sci-Fi.
Greetings.
Good to see you, sir.
Thanks,
Admiral
Sci-Fi.
Soval, the bearer of realistically tragic news. Unfortunately, I don't know if you guys heard, but today we did lose Nichelle Nichols,
Yes.
and
Sad day.
last week we did lose David Warner
And Bill Russell.
and
Yep.
Bill Russell. It's been sort of a heavy week for that, but definitely with Nichelle Nichols passing, 89 years old, a long, very impactful life. I think that a lot of people could aspire to that, but she definitely was a trailblazer and pioneer for television and for African-American actors.
Well,
hello to Sci-Fi Nation.
And greetings and ahoys.
Edge of Time. I like it when Ahoy
Jill.
catches on. Hey, Jill. I can't be here right now, but I have you all open in another tab. I'll see if I can listen soon.
Cool.
Well,
Thanks,
it's a bite-sized review. It'll be fun.
Bite-sized review.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to go check out Anti-Derivative Jill's YouTube channel, she had a 200 subscriber Festivus on Friday that I was happy to be a part of. So that was really fun. Thanks, Jill. Edge of Time says, I wish Wes Anderson would use unknowns instead of stars.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, my frustration with Wes Anderson, as much as I love his style in his movies, he has these great ensembles, but he only zeroes in on very tiny aspects of it. Like the Grand Budapest Hotel. The majority of that movie is the Ralph Fiennes character trying to go on this cross-country trip to get back to the hotel rather than spending time with all these characters.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the French Dispatch. You have all these colorful characters who actually work at the newspaper, and it's instead focusing on 3 different articles in the paper. And it's like, I thought the first one's great, the second one was a dud, and the third one was okay. But it's like, the same kind of thing. It's like, I love those ensembles, and I don't know, maybe because when he says they should use unknowns, it would be less distracting, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. I like most Wes Anderson stuff. I never got distracted by, huge stars in it. And let's face it, I think huge stars are lining up to work in these movies because of the craft, that he brings to his filmmaking. But could I see him going back and just doing a movie with all unknowns? Yeah, probably. I don't know if that'll happen, but I don't know if it would make the movie better or worse.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept just because when you cast a movie with unknowns, the only way that it really lands with you is if those unknowns shine brightly.
Right.
And you want to get asses in seats. Like, ultimately, it is the business that is show. And
That's
so
right.
it's the names that bring you in, and he definitely has a style. No
And you
one can
can't
argue
go
that.
wrong. You can't go wrong adding talent, right?
Hmm.
No matter how famous that talent may be, you add talented actors. Look, if I was making a film and I had access to the most talented actors in Hollywood, I would absolutely use them.
Yeah.
Just the way I think that's just the way the business kind of is. But I have a point. I
think it's only stunt casting if you could tell that they're really not right for the role, and they're only there because they're a big name star.
Right. That's a different story.
Yeah,
And I think that's why I kind of frame it as talent and not stars. Yeah. It's like I just want the best talent for the role.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that it was the guys over at Red Letter Media that were talking about watching sort of indie movies like the A24 movies, things that just sort of go under the radar, and how you can actually sort of give yourself over to the movie a little bit more freely because you're not confronted with the fact that hey, look, it's Sandy Bullock.
Yeah.
It
get
doesn't.
And look, those movies usually tend to be my favorite movies. Indie movies and kind of lower budget, introspective movies or tackling concepts that may not be mainstream. So for me, it works for me because I don't care as long as the talent's there and it's a killer story. I'm on board.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So I think that'll do it for us. That's a crisp 30 minutes or so.
We haven't done one of these since back in the days of the very early Phantasmagorium.
Right.
Yeah, well, this one also, Chris, because we didn't do the recap this time because there wasn't really.
I think it's fine. Sometimes it's fun just to talk about the movie instead of going to scene by scenes, but or a recap. Yeah. I do want to do this again. I think the next one is Bullet Train. Are you interested in seeing that and doing a review for that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that for sure. I think that comes out next Friday.
Yeah, that one comes out Friday. The new A24 movie comes out Friday, and then there's something else.
The Marcel the Shell with Shoes On?
That's already out, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Or maybe it's not. Maybe that is the one. Yeah, that's the third one.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, and is Bodies drop on the 5th?
This Friday, I believe. Yeah, that's the new A24. Okay.
Everything comes out on the 5th for some reason. Sandman drops on the 5th. There's a couple other things on streaming that are dropping on the 5th. So a huge weekend for entertainment. So, come back and check us out. We might be popping up and doing little quick reviews on a bunch of stuff. I'd love to review Sandman. Maybe I can convince Todd Michael to come on, and even if he's not on video to review the episodes.
And we did,
or maybe just the season as a whole. That'd be cool.
And Kat and I think Steve, are you joining for Dusk Till Dawn on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll be there. I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in quite a while, so I'll rewatch it. It's on HBO Max. And
excellent.
That's good.
I'll be on Wednesday for sure.
And then our good friends over at Cinema Gulp were kind enough to have me on yesterday. We recorded a retrospective of a select filmography of Kevin Smith, pretty much sticking to most of the Askewniverse stuff, but we had a great conversation with me and two Bens.
Awesome.
So hopefully that'll be coming out soon too. And we're getting closer to She-Hulk, Steve. We're getting closer to She-Hulk.
We are getting closer to She-Hulk. We'll probably review those too. That'll be a weekly show, so we can do a weekly review of that. It doesn't have to be a long thing, but come on and do a crisp half hour.
Agreed.
Cool. So unless anybody has any parting thoughts,
nope.
I'll just say for Catherine and Scotty R37, I am Steve Foley. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope you liked our review of Jordan Peele's Nope. Have a good day, everybody.